The following is a presentation of Learfield IMG College.
This is Duck Insider.
Give it to Verdell. He's got the first down and go! Duck fans start celebrating. Oregon is the 2019 Pac-12 champion. The 2020 Rose Bowl champion.
Richardson, another open three. Good! Duarte dribbles and slams with the right hand. For the third time in the last 5 years, the Ducks are Pac-12 champions. Outright champs.
Foley three. Good! Foley ball. Out Shelley. Three ball. Good! Regular season champions and now Pac-12 tournament champions.
Welcome to Duck Insider.
We're just getting started.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. Presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Better banking, local solutions. Live from the Country Financial Studio, here's Joey Mac.
One more day. We are approaching 24 hours until kickoff of the Oregon football season. And thanks for joining us. I said yesterday that it's like you're counting the number of sleeps that you have left until football returns. One more show today and one more sleep until Oregon football returns at 4:30 tomorrow when the Ducks host the Stanford Cardinal. It's on ABC, and we'll, of course, have a 2:30 pregame show for you across the Oregon Sports Network with a great interview with Joe Moorhead and Terry Johns. Jerry Allen sitting down with Mario Cristobal. Jorgie's going to be with us, too, and Jerry Allen and Mike Jorgensen are both going to join us on the show today. We do have some bad news, though, to start things off, as the second Pac-12 game for this opening weekend has been canceled. Arizona and Utah, the conference announcing today, has been canceled. The second game after Cal and Washington was canceled for the opening weekend. So everybody remember, grab those masks. Get your mask, do your part, and let's get back to playing some football as long as we can do it safely. It is Friday, which means that we will welcome back very fondly our weekly picks brought to you by North Fork Public House, voted Eugene's best new restaurant, Eat, Drink, Explore. Yeah. Picks are back. More on that in a moment because Mike Jorgensen is here. Actually, I take that back. Not more on that in a moment. Jorgie, let's just start with this before I get into some shenanigans. How excited are you for football tomorrow?
Oh, man, it just can't. And with all the things that have happened over just the last 2 days in our own league, I can't wait. I mean, I just cannot wait for Autzen Stadium to host a football game in 2020 and have that new scoreboard lighten up the sky once it gets dark, which gets dark a little bit earlier now. I mean, it's just, it can't happen quick enough. And obviously, you know, the juice that Mario and company are bringing to that deal. They can't wait to get it going too.
No doubt about that. And now right on cue, it's like he heard that I was going to pull some shenanigans today. And Jerry Allen joins the Zoom call right as Mike Jorgensen and I are about to have a little bit of fun. They're both
Mr. Shenanigan himself, right? Joins in right there. Yeah.
That's right. Joining us via the University of Oregon Alumni Association guest line, by the way, Mike Jorgensen, Jerry Allen. Where'd he go, Scott? What happened? Did he disconnect?
No.
He just turned off his video? I don't know. The point is that Jerry and Jorgie are both here, and we're going to talk with both of them about picks coming up. Hey, Jerry, just your level of excitement as we get ready for another season of Oregon football, which, by the way, is Jerry's 34th season in the broadcast booth. Just had to throw that out there.
Guarded optimism. I'm excitement. I'm nervous. I think for a couple of things. I'm nervous because I can't wait for that first game, but I'm also nervous because of what's going on in the college football world and the Pac-12 right now. So it's like, you know, we're trying to get across that finish line. We can see that finish line, which is the game, but it's just like we're moving in slow motion. I want it to hurry up.
I think we all wanted to hurry up, that's for sure. Okay, so we do have some housekeeping for you. We have a lot of things that are going on over the next few days, including what's called a duck duel. More on that in a moment. A chance to win $1 million, actually, which is going to be kind of fun. We also have some great things coming up tomorrow for game day. Even though not everybody will be with us in Autzen Stadium, we're going to do what we're calling Autzen Live. So essentially, we're going to bring Autzen Stadium to you about 45 minutes before kickoff. More on that coming up in just a little while. We also heard from Dana Altman. We didn't get a chance to air all of his comments yesterday. We have that. But guys, without further ado, it's time for picks. So if you're just joining us for the first time, every Friday during football season, we do picks. Now, obviously, with our connection to the University of Oregon Athletic Department, we will not be making any picks based on the spread. It's just going to be for bragging purposes only and for a trip to North Fork Public House, where, by the way, Jerry Allen and Mike Jorgensen still owe me for my victory last year.
Hey, I offered delivery of dinner. I did offer delivery of dinner. You wouldn't take it up.
You did, because, and I still believe this, I feel like we can only do it when we are all able to go to North Fork together. Can we agree on that?
That's fair.
Okay.
Maybe a couple of years, though.
And we may be back to even by that time. So
That's true. That's true. We may have completely finished it off by then. Okay, so the way that this is going to work is we don't have to make a pick now for Arizona, Utah, and Washington, Cal. So that's just going to go in the books as a canceled game. We're not going to even worry about it, which means we only have 3 games to pick today, guys.
I'm looking for a coin to flip. You have a coin?
I do.
Good. Okay.
I do. And then, so I just want to review the rules for everybody who's tuning in, maybe for the first time, and we're going to talk Oregon, Stanford, get into the preview. Okay, so the way that it works.
We have addendum to the rules this year.
There's no rules.
There's plenty of rules. As a man who loves rules, it's important. Okay, so the rules are that whoever won last week has to pick first. Okay, that is still the rule. Because I won last year, that would mean I have to pick first in each of our games this week.
That's a good rule.
I ask the group, Jerry and Jorgie, do we want to continue last year's modification, which was you can defer one game? Do we still want to continue that rule? I ask the committee.
Well, see, the first thing I had to say about this whole deal is it the person who won last year gets to pick first this year, or is it the person who won the last week of last year gets to pick first this year?
Well, that's a good question. That's a good point.
Right to the computer. He's got it right in front of him.
Yeah.
I just checked that.
So the winner of the bonus bowl pick'em last year was Jorgie, hence why he's asking. So then Jorgie would have to pick first, but it's up to you guys. I mean, we've previously done whoever won last year has to pick first in week 1, won the total thing.
I propose a new rule. Okay.
And what is that?
I think we all can defer this week's picks to next week, so that we'll all get it right for a change, which we never do.
New season. Just start picking.
How about in this opening week? How about in this opening week we all get to defer a pick, and we can choose when we want to use it in these 3 games. So, for example, if Joey starts and he defers the first game, and I was second, I could defer, and Jerry, you could defer, and then Joey has to pick first.
Oh, I like that.
You know, I mean, that we could have a little bit of fun with that. There's only 3 games, but
we may need to go to the Supreme Court on this. You know,
Oh.
they're going to be busy for a while. I get it.
yeah.
Let's just pick. Let's just
Okay.
pick a game.
Okay, Joey gets to go first. He
All right,
won
Joey.
last year. I'll let that happen. So
So you can defer if you want to.
Wow. Are we sure about that?
Yeah.
You know, David says in the comments, Joey Mac, you talk too much. I'm not sure that I could get a word in edgewise. David.
you get to go first. You were the 2019 champ.
Okay. So the first game on the docket, we usually go chronological order, is Arizona State at number 20 USC. It's on Fox. It's one of those 9 a.m. kickoffs in the Pac-12, guys. Going to be a little bit weird. And then we'll also, of course, have UCLA, Colorado coming up, and Washington State, Oregon State. And we'll give you a little preview of Stanford and Oregon. Traditionally, I will pick first. And then we also, for everybody's reference, we do have the coin. I have a 50-cent coin. Or no, actually, dollar coin. I take that back. A dollar coin. We don't have Jerry's really awesome coin that was from the spring game a few years ago, but I think I'm going to try and make do for you, Jerry, unless you have the coin handy and you can flip it from your home office.
It's in the other room, and I'm not sure I can find my way back into this room because I go past the fridge where the beer is, and by the time I got back here, the show may be over. So we'll use your coin.
It's Friday on it's Friday on Duck Insider. Okay, Arizona State, USC. Yeah, guys, this is an interesting game. So one of the things I was thinking about is that Arizona State didn't have as many interruptions in practice as USC did as this ramp-up began. I kind of wonder if that's going to matter in this game. But an early morning kickoff, is that harder on the road team or is it harder on the home team? Probably harder on the road team. I don't know if any of those things is going to end up mattering. I do think that USC is probably the more talented team. But I think Arizona State might be the better coached team. I'm going to take the Trojans, but I think it's going to be a close game. And I'm actually really curious to see how things work in a 9 a.m. Pac-12 kickoff. So next up, because of the standings in 2019, would be one. Well, actually, Jerry and the coin tied, but I'm going to let Jerry go. I'm going to let Jerry go first.
I didn't finish last?
No, that would be Jorgie.
Oh, I just forgot. I'm sorry, Jorgie. All right. This was a little tough one for me because I really want to pick the upset here. I know it's at USC, and that's probably for me that was going to make the difference. Sun Devils supposed to finish 2 or 3 in the South, so they're going to be right there. Jane Daniels is back. Listen to this, guys. He had 17 touchdowns. He only threw two picks last year. He's really efficient. He's really good, but they lost their receivers. Brandon Ayuk, N'Keal Harry. Benjamin is gone, so I don't know if he has enough weapons. I think for me that's along with 3 starters gone on the offensive line. I just don't think their offense is going to be able to put up enough points to beat USA. I want to pick Arizona State because I don't like. Maybe it's USC, but I'm going to go with Arizona State. But I don't think it's going to be a close game either. I just think that there's not enough offense for the Sun Devils.
All right. I'll flip the coin then. That's tails. Tails is always the road team, so the coin making the smart pick and going with Arizona State. What do you think, Jorgie?
Did the coin beat me last year?
Yes.
I don't remember. Really?
Yeah.
The coin almost beat all of us.
So if we want to recap what happened last year.
No, we don't need to. Let me
okay.
just go ahead and give you my pick, and we don't need to recap anything. So, and I'm going to blame it on Julia, by the way. She's the one who did the picks towards the last 3 weeks of it. Actually, she helped close the gap, if I remember right. So my picks were so bad. Okay, Jerry, I'm going with exactly what you said with USC. And Joey, I know you did too. I think USC is clearly better than Arizona State. It's going to take a while for the Sun Devils to find themselves, frankly, with Benjamin and Ayuk gone and Harry gone. And I mean, they've got some really big play type of guys that Jaden Daniels, I think, had the ability to have the year that he did because he had a really solid run game and some big time receivers to throw the ball to. And it makes a quarterback's job a lot easier when you have those type of skill guys on that side. Now they're kind of wondering whether they do or not. And yet on the other side, SC has them. They returned a lot of guys on offense and defense, both special teams, the punter and the kicker, 19 returning starters. So I think at home to start the season with all that talent, to me, Clay Helton loses his job if they lose this game. Maybe not, but I mean, they should win this game really pretty easily. And I don't think the 9 o'clock deal, Joey, really makes a difference for the home or the away team, honestly.
All right. Then USC, ASU across our scoreboard. All right, quick timeout. It's our North Fork Public House picks here on Duck Insider on a Friday. Glad that we're back to making picks, even if we don't have Jerry and Jorgie here in the studio with us. They look probably better on the TV anyway. Yeah. I think so. Probably. All right, quick timeout. We're going to come back. More picks. Also, Oregon, Stanford. Some keys to the game from Jerry and Jorgie. That's next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union. Join in. OnPointCU.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
After 2 years of construction, my wife and I finally moved into our dream home. So when a bathtub fixture broke, causing major water damage, I was glad we had the home insurance protection we needed. How do you know your home is protected? Talk to a Country Financial rep like me, Nick Simon. We can help you understand your options and select coverages to meet your needs. Then if something happens to your home, you won't have any surprises. Need the right coverage for your home but not sure where to start? Visit TakeSimpleSteps.com or contact a local Country representative.
Don't go anywhere. Duck Insider continues after these messages on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Learfield IMG College.
Man, do I love card night. You ready, boys? You got a king?
Go, fish dad!
Oh, come on. This is WWE superstar Titus O'Neil. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Tweens have mastered the art of tuning out. Jen, there's a spider in the car. We're turning your room into a home gym. See? Nothing. But some messages need to get through. Like making sure they're buckled up the whole ride, every time. Do whatever it takes to make your child listen. Jen, I friended your boyfriend.
Wait, what?
Buckle up, sweetie.
Never give up until they buckle up. Learn more at safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Back on Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union, inside the Country Financial Studio, and joining us via the UOAA, University of Oregon Alumni Association guest line, is Mike Jorgensen and Jerry Allen. All right, guys, we're making our North Fork Public House picks and getting ready for Oregon and Stanford tomorrow. A full preview of Oregon and Stanford still to come. Some comments from Dane Altman, also some fun things that we have in store for you. One of them, head to goducks.com/OttsonLive today. You get a little taste of some of the ways that the Ducks are bringing Autzen Stadium to your living room, actually. GoDucks.com/OttsonLive. We continue with some picks. UCLA, Colorado. UCLA on the road against the Buffs to start the season out in Boulder. Supposed to be 71 degrees and perfectly sunny at kickoff at 4 o'clock in Boulder. That still might be a little bit cold for UCLA, but UCLA is about a touchdown favorite in this game. I like UCLA here, guys. I think that UCLA is going to win. I think... to be honest, I don't really know what to make of Colorado, and that's why I'm going to pick UCLA, and I guess in Chip I trust. Jerry?
Well, UCLA is a slight favorite. I mean, a little less than a touchdown favorite. When you got a returning quarterback, I've heard Jorgie say this so many times, when you have a starting quarterback coming back, that's a huge advantage, and that's a big advantage they have. 7 offensive returners, 3 defense. I beg your pardon, 7 offense, 8 defense. But their defense allowed 32 points a game last year in Colorado. And they got a new head coach. So they got a lot of things to work out. So the first year with a new head coach, a new quarterback, I just think too many issues, even though they're at home. I think UCLA with Dorian Thompson-Robinson and Chase Cota, and they're just more talented across the board. So I'll go with UCLA.
UCLA for Jerry. Coins in the air. It's a tails. So that would be the road team for UCLA as well. Jorgie, what do you got?
Yeah, it's tough for me to go with Colorado as much as I'd like to see an Oregon boy, Sam Neuer, who's been named their starting quarterback, have some success. I think that'd be a really neat story after he was on the verge of leaving Colorado and going someplace else, got moved to the defensive side of the ball, and now all of a sudden he finds himself the starting quarterback in a Pac-12 opener at home. Unfortunately, they don't have the home crowd, and I think that's really what they need to be a difference maker there. And Jerry said it. I think Dorian Thompson-Robinson's a really good player. He can hurt you with his arm. He can hurt you with his feet. He's got some solid receivers. The other thing with UCLA and Chip Kelly, they were really bad on defense last year. I mean, they were in the bottom 20 or so in the country, and at the bottom of the stats charts in the Pac-12 conference, and they only returned 3. Now that might be a good thing that they only returned 3, because you get a whole bunch of new players in there that might be better than those guys that left. I do like UCLA on the road, mostly because of the quarterback advantage. Josh Kelly, I think, is going to be who they're going to have to find a replacement for, almost like Benjamin. That, to me, is going to make or break UCLA on a couple of wins this year, is if they can run the ball, because I don't think they can play defense. But Dorian Thompson-Robinson, he's definitely the key in this game, and I think he leads UCLA to victory.
UCLA across the board for everybody then today as we open your North Fork Public House picks today. Remember, Arizona and Utah and Washington Cal, both those games canceled. So the final game on the docket then is the 7:30 Fox Sports 1 matchup at Reser Stadium in Corvallis with Washington State visiting Oregon State. Guys, I expect a lot of points to be scored in this game. But I think Jonathan Smith's got the advantage over a first-year head coach in Nick Rolovich. I like Oregon State in this matchup, but I think it's going to be a close game. I think it might actually be the closest Pac-12 game of the day, the toughest for me to pick. I think Oregon State's just going to score too many points at home. I'm going to take the Beavers here. What do you think, Jerry?
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you. I don't think, Joey. I mean, losing Jake Luton and their leading receiver, Isaiah Hodgins, I mean, that hurts your offense, and I think a lot of numbers are going to go away with that. But Oregon State's defense, I think, is going to be a lot better this year. And up against an offense that's new, I mean, Mike Leach and the air raid is gone. You're going to see more of a run and shoot, spread it out. Not the same type of a game. I think easier to defend. So because of that, I think Oregon State has the upper hand, and I think they win this ball game for Jonathan Smith.
All right. The coin. It's so fun when the coin picks before somebody.
Oh, geez.
Tails. That's the Beavers for the coin. Wow. All right, what do you think, Jorg?
So heads is home and tails is away team? No.
Yes, heads home.
Okay. And you just flip tails, right?
That is correct.
So it's Washington State then?
Is that what I said?
No.
No,
Did you say Oregon State?
No, that's what I said.
No, you said Oregon State.
You said Oregon State.
Scott says I said Washington State.
Who? No, he didn't. Who cares what Scott says? If you didn't say that.
Attention to the man behind the green curtain. That is
okay. It was. You can't see it zoomed in this far, but I'm telling you, tails, Washington State. My bad.
Okay. Well, I'm taking tails, and I'm taking Washington State in this game. I think the Cougs coming in with the run and shoot, Nick Rolovich, and this run and shoot has caused the Beavers, mind you, in Honolulu, when they played Hawaii there, has caused the Beavers problems in the past and points that can be scored and that type of deal. I think they're going to spread it all over the place. They still have skill players, Max Borghi in the backfield, Tay Martin, Jameer Calvin, Renard Bell, Travell Harris. I still think they have enough guys on offense. Again, I don't think either team is going to play great defense. And I agree with you, Jerry. I think the Beavers defense is going to be a little bit better. But boy, if Washington State has any luck right off the bat, if they start fast, it's going to be tough for Oregon State to keep up, because I just don't think, again, they're both going to be starting new quarterbacks, even though last year we were able to see, Tristan Gebbia play against Oregon in Autzen Stadium. He actually did a really nice job. And he does have Jamar Jefferson in the backfield to be able to counter a guy like Borghi. But you know what? I can't pick the Beavers, can I? I mean, every time whenever I pick them, they lose. And then when I pick against them, they win. So I'm going to lose this one either way, right? Heads I win, tails you lose. And so I'm taking Washington State in this one.
So just to give everybody a little bit of context, there was a season where Jorgie picked the Beavers wrong, I believe, 12 times. So there's some precedent there. Also, Brent with a nice thing to say about Mike Jorgensen, and I must agree with them. He says, I could listen to you talk about football all day, learned so much from you in the last few years. Thank you. That goes for me as well, Jorgie. See, you got a fan.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Also, Alex Parker, you're officially not on my side anymore because he confirmed that I said Oregon State. Come on, Alex. You're supposed to be on my side. Man.
Replay.
Man. Alex also asked earlier who Stanford's running back is going to be. That is actually the big question heading into this week, guys, as we turn toward our preview of now the game that we'll be calling coming up tomorrow at 4:30. We don't know what Stanford's running back position is necessarily going to look like. They've, similar to the Ducks, listed a lot of oars on their depth chart. Jorgie, what do you make of this Stanford team as you get ready to call this game tomorrow?
Well, I mean, it's going to be tough to make anything of them with as many changes as they've had, and some even recently. You know, guys transfer away. Some of their best defenders either graduate or go someplace else. Then some opt-outs here recently. Now injuries. You just have no idea who David Shaw is going to plug into a lot of places, other than one thing for sure is Davis Mills at quarterback and a really talented group of wide receivers. They'll be stretching the field. They're going to try to throw it deep and really try to throw it all over the place. I think for the first time ever, you're going to see a Stanford team that's pass first, run second. As tough as that is to kind of fathom and swallow. I just wonder if Emmitt Smith's son, E.J. Smith, is going to be featured some way, shape, or form, because they really don't return anybody of note from a rushing standpoint. So, you know, Barry Sanders Jr. was the first one. Now E.J. Smith, the second one on the big name running backs. Bottom line is David Shaw will have them ready to play. They're going to play hard. They always play physical football. Possessions really mean a lot in this game. And even though they'll be throwing the ball, I think they're still going to try to possession the heck out of you. And then offensively, Oregon's just going to have to be able to score some points. So
yeah, I feel like getting a quick start for Oregon's offense could be huge too. A brand new offensive line, brand new quarterback. Get a quick start. I think get everybody a little bit more confident. Will certainly. That's a key that I have at least is a quick start. Tobiah also asked about the over/under on the number of flags to be thrown today. I have not returned the flag, guys, to Scott Phillips since he threw it at me. I thought inadvertently.
He won't give it back.
And I will not give it back to him.
Good.
So.
Yeah,
I now control the flag, which means no flags have been thrown today, and it's just not as fun when you guys aren't here in person, but
I could throw it at the screen.
You know, we try. Yeah, I guess I could just, like, hit the TV, right? I don't know. That's the best I could do.
4 times when he would have thrown the flag today.
Okay, good. Well, I guess that counts as a throw. Tobiah also says that he has to take 4 ibuprofen before he watches our Duck Insider Pick shows. It's Friday. It's Friday, and it's game week. This, honestly, to me is like, oh, it's game week when we're having these shenanigans on a Friday. Jerry, some of your thoughts heading into this matchup. What do you think are some of the keys to the game for Oregon and Stanford?
Well, to me, I look at strengths against strengths, and I think it's Oregon's defensive strength against what Stanford hopes will be their strength, throwing the ball. Stanford, and that's not a good matchup, I don't think, for the Cardinal. Mills is a good quarterback, but he's going to have pressure on him all day. Oregon's back end is really good at coverage. I just think Oregon's defense is too good to let Stanford do what they don't normally do, and that's throw the ball. So they're going to have to find some run game somehow. How are you going to do that up in the middle against Oregon's defense? So Oregon's defense, I think, is the key in this one. I think Oregon will score points. There's no doubt. I don't know whether it'll be 21, 31, or 42, but I don't think Stanford's going to score a whole lot of points in this game. I think that's the difference.
Yeah, the Ducks are pretty stout on that defensive line. I think that might be Oregon's strongest position group, at least in my mind, as we head into this season. Guys, thanks for joining us. Weekly Picks, always brought to you by North Fork Public House, open for dine-in and takeout. It seems odd that our first picks show of the season, we only picked 3 games, because normally normally there's like 11 games in the non-conference opening weekend that we have to pick, and it takes forever. So it seems weird we're only halfway through the show, and I'm saying see you guys at Autzen tomorrow. Actually, I won't see you guys at Autzen tomorrow. I will talk to you from the stands via the wireless microphone while you guys are in the booth at Autzen tomorrow.
We'll see you.
We'll wave at you.
Thanks. I appreciate that. Remember, guys, it never rains in Autzen Stadium, but I might be finding out if it rains on the concourse coming up this weekend.
Forecast now here, 90% chance of rain tomorrow, winds strong.
Hey, and by the way, there's a cutout of Jerry in section 42.
No, there is not.
So when you find that, would you take a Sharpie with you and put like a little mustache on it and like a zit at the top of his cheek and, do some different things like that to him. So
Big gap. Yeah.
It would be so fun.
I'm doing it. It's going to happen. Jerry Allen, Mike Jorgensen, looking forward to kicking off another season with you, my friends, tomorrow. And thanks for taking the time today.
Thanks, Joey. This kind of brings a little sense of normalcy. Felt good.
All right. You know what else is going to be normal is when Oregon State wins and Georgie is in last place as we head into week 2. That will feel normal. That will feel normal. Thanks, fellas. Appreciate it.
See you, Joey.
We'll talk with those guys more coming up tomorrow. But this is Duck Insider on a Friday. If you guys forgot what it's like, well, I feel like that was a solid reminder. And I have to make notes to myself to make sure that I remember to tell them these sorts of things tomorrow. Our North Fork Public House picks, open for dine-in and takeout, northforkeugene.com. All right, a lot of other things to get to. What to expect when you're watching the Ducks from home or you're listening to the Ducks from home. Also, some of the traditions that we normally have at Autzen Stadium. The Ducks are going to be finding other ways to bring those traditions to you since you can't be in Autzen Stadium. More on that coming up. Stick with us. This is Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Back in the Country Financial Studio next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
As my family continued to grow, I realized I'd have to replace my beloved Jeep with something that has, well, more seats. I'm Jason Hines, Country Financial Rep and father of 7. Whether you're upgrading from your sporty ride with no room for a car seat or finally replacing your well-loved beater that still has a cassette player, you'll want the right protection for your new car. Work with a Country Financial Rep like me and get the protection you need at a price you can afford. Learn more at TakeSimpleSteps.com or contact a local Country representative.
Mountain Dew Zero Sugar presents an original that's now maybe even better. Mary had a little lamb.
Mary had a bottle of Mountain Dew Zero Sugar with the same refreshing taste as the original, but with zero sugar. Same refreshing taste as the original, but with zero sugar. Same refreshing taste as the original, but with zero sugar. Mary had a bottle of Mountain Dew Zero Sugar. That's taste was as good as the original, maybe even better.
Mountain Dew Zero Sugar. As good as the original, maybe even better.
Duck Insider continues after this timeout on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
To buy your home, you became a house hunting ace, learned about loans, scoured neighborhoods, and asked the right questions. Now you're queen of your castle. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. With 401k tips and smart saving strategies, you'll feel empowered to own your retirement like you own your home. Go to aceyourretirement.org. Because when it comes to clearing financial hurdles, you're an ace. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Whoa, long time no see. It's me, the Rock t-shirt in the back of your closet. Dude, remember? You crowd surfed in me, man. But you haven't worn me in like forever. I get it, you're retired, but I still got some rock left in me. So take me to Goodwill, where I can really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff. Create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
We're back on Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Joey Mac inside the Country Financial Studio. Well, we've got a lot of things that are still being ironed out, as you can imagine, before kickoff tomorrow. We are a little over 24 hours away if you're live with us in the 1 o'clock hour, just past 1:30 here on Friday afternoon. One more show and one more sleep until Oregon football. But look, I do want to be honest with y'all. Arizona, Utah, Washington, Cal. Both those games canceled. It's just a sobering reminder of, I don't want to say the fragility of all of this, but I'm not sure of a better way to describe it. Maybe I'll defer to my thesaurus, also known as Scott Phillips. Is there another word that I'm missing here? But it is a little bit of a fragile state that I think the entire world is living in right now.
It's I don't think I could describe it better than that.
Okay, so
fragile is good.
So fragile is appropriate. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't missing something on that. So look, we all know that. Follow those protocols. That's going to be important. For tomorrow's kickoff, though, things are going to be a little bit different inside Autzen Stadium. I've seen the tarps that have been installed. There are different green tarps that have been installed at Autzen. There's also the cardboard cutouts. I'm excited actually to try to find my cardboard cutout this afternoon when we go over to do some testing. Scott and I are going over to do some testing after we get off the show today. No, and you know what? And now that I say that out loud, I just realized everyone's like, wait, testing? Are you getting tested? Actually, we're testing equipment and doing those sorts of things in addition to the regular, COVID tests. Isn't this strange how certain phrases like socially distanced and social distancing, no one knew what that meant until about March. Maybe a little bit sooner than that. But that's what's going on around Autzen Stadium, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that here over the next little while. So the Autzen pregame live. This is going to be a lot of fun. So we've been planning this for the last few weeks because we thought, there's so many traditions at Autzen Stadium that fans want to know about. The cheerleaders, the bands, Don Essig's weather report, the starting lineups, the football motivational video, the team introduction on the Harley. There's so many things that we know that everybody tuning in still wants to see. So tomorrow we're happy to debut our Autzen pregame live. You can see the details of it at goducks.com/Autzen live. I've somehow been asked to host it. Probably should have been Jerry. But for whatever reason, I'm going to do it. Scott Phillips is going to be with me. Scott LeBounty and his crew putting it together with Megan Robertson and John Brewer in the Oregon marketing office. And look, the goal of this is we want to give you an inside look inside Autzen Stadium since you can't be there. And with the beauty of modern technology, we're going to be able to do so. So goducks.com/Autzen live. You can see the details. We'll show you the team warming up. We'll talk about some of the keys to the game. We'll talk about some of the preseason standings. We'll also talk about the preseason expectations for Mario Cristobal's team. Coming off a Rose Bowl, some new faces, but still some high expectations for this squad, and it's all going to start against Stanford. That's just one of the things that we have going on. And believe me, there will still be a certain weather report, and we'll have it for you as part of that Autzen Live pregame show. And I do want feedback on that. I think I should say that. Those of you who are tuning in on the show every day, we always appreciate it, and I always appreciate the feedback. And this is a great point, too, from Angela. We'll miss seeing the team walk through the the march to victory. So we're still going to try to show some of those sorts of traditions since everybody can't be here. And Alex says, Joey, they will want you to get exercise, and your cardboard cutout will be section 26, row 75. Boy, that'd be high up there, wouldn't it? Hey, I'll tell you what, though. I don't need a priority seat for my cardboard cutout, right? You could put me in the way back. I don't care. I will be roaming around the concourse. So the joke has been it's not the Toyota sideline microphone anymore. Now it's like the Toyota concourse and amongst the cardboard cutout and tarps microphone. It's going to be different. So I hope that you guys will enjoy that. And if there's other things that you guys want to see who are tuning in on game day, let us know. Because we're going to do our best while adhering to local health policies and doing everything the right way. We're going to do our best to bring those sorts of traditions and that information to you. That's our goal. Also, this is pretty cool, guys. So it just launched today. Really late yesterday, but today was the first full day. If you go to goducks.com/duckduel, and yes, I know that we're invoking all of the different Star Wars references now from Scott Phillips by using duel. And yes, I now have a vision of the duck holding a green lightsaber in my hand. I'm sure I'm not the only one. That's pretty good. He's doing that just with his mouth. That's pretty good. Goducks.com/duckduel for your chance to win. So the way that this is, it's essentially trivia throughout the game. So you're going to be doing it during commercial breaks, essentially, and you can do some pregame as well. If you get all the questions right, you could win a Toyota Venza and up to $1 million. I already asked. Apparently, I'm not eligible.
Really?
I don't think you are either, since we work here. But so everybody who's tuning in today, go to goducks.com/duckduel, and you could win $1 million.
A lot of these folks on the comments, they're pretty good Duck fans.
Yeah,
they know their trivia.
I'm saying you'll know your trivia. Some of it's predictive, if you will. You can say I think the Ducks are going to score this much today. I mean, I think it's awesome. So goducks.com/duckduel. You could win a car. You could win a bunch of money. Pretty cool. Anita says, excited that you get to cut your hair. Oh. Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it.
Oh, it's happening.
I am very, very much excited for that as well. Though I will say, I thought that everybody was going to look at me like I was crazy when I started doing this as just kind of a fun thing. And, you know, I say, hey, I'll come out here when we play a live Oregon sporting event again. Well, it's happening now, it looks like. But we got to get there first.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
And then also, Anita, I will just say, like, I thought that so many people were going to be like, oh, Joey, cut it. Now everyone's like, no, you should keep it. What happened?
You reached a cool stage where it was just like, awesome, look at that hair.
Or am I old enough now that I don't look like an unprofessional kid when I have hair like this?
Yeah, I'd say that's probably part of it.
So in other words, I look old.
Not old, older.
Thank you. Thank you, Scott.
Fragile.
Appreciate that. Must be Italian. Oh, so anyway, those are just some of the things to think about. I do want to get a quick timeout. We're going to come back, tell you a little bit about a virtual sellout that the Ducks have going on, and we're going to hear from Dana Altman here coming up a little bit. I want to let you listen in on some of what he had to say as he met with the media yesterday. On Point Community Credit Union, always bringing you Duck Insider. We're back inside the Country Financial Studio next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union. Join in. OnPointCU.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
All it takes is one drop to make a wave. One beat to inspire a track. One spark to get creativity flowing. With every drop, Life Water refreshes your mind and restores your body. Purified water, pH balanced with electrolytes for taste. Designed with original works of art on every bottle. Let us be your source of inspiration. Life Water, the feel-good water.
Duck Insider, your home for the latest news on Oregon athletics. This is the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
I wasn't prepared to be a caregiver to Mom. I had no idea how hard it would be and what I would need to know. Things I never thought of, like how to improve her mood and ways for me to stay positive. Luckily, I found the Caregiving Resource Center from AARP. It had articles about the basics, but also information about the hurdles I was facing. Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving. Articles, tips, and tools to help you both care for your loved one and care for yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
All right, everybody in the car, let's go.
What are we gonna do first when we get there, Mom? Go for a hike?
Sure.
What about canoeing? Can we go canoeing too?
I don't see why.
How long does it take to get to the forest?
It's not that far, sweetie.
Are we there yet?
Yep, we're here.
Already?
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
We're back on Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Inside the Country Financial Studio, we close in on kickoff at Autzen Stadium. The season opener coming a little bit later than we thought, but it was good to be back to football. Anita says, Joe, you look good with the grow out, but you sounded excited about a Sunday morning haircut. I am still very excited about a Sunday morning haircut. Anita, thank you. I appreciate it. You know, I will say my wife, though, she's like, I don't think you have to cut it that short. Now it's like, well, maybe you don't have to cut it as short as you had it before. It's lost its... I don't even know what it is now. It's just taken on a life of its own. John Brewer, who is our marketing guru, told me that we should change our O with headphones logo. I'm sure many of you have all seen it. Like, it's like the talking bubble with headphones and the O. He wants to make one now that has, like, hair on the O, like, underneath the underneath the headphones. And I thought, well, one, it breaks like every style guide rule there is about the O, but the fact that John said that he would do it, I was like, man, we're onto something apparently. Anyway, hey, one of the things that goes on at Autzen Stadium is On Point Community Credit Union the last few years, and obviously they're the title sponsor of our show, so we couldn't be doing Duck Insider if it wasn't for the folks at On Point. you know, they have always recognized different faculty from the University of Oregon. And I got thinking, like, man, you know, it stinks that, like, we can't have people up in President Schill's booth and recognize them. And that's so core to what On Point does, because On Point was founded by 16 school teachers, and they've always had education on the forefront of what they do, part of why they work with the University of Oregon and why they work with the Ducks. Well, On Point so far has put together $550,000 for over 22,000 students this year. I just wanted to bring that up and say, hey, that's cool. So to our partners at On Point, that's a cool deal. In the last decade, On Point has also awarded over 370,000 well-deserved gifts to over 260 educators and schools across Oregon and Southwest Washington. I mean, that's what this is all about. So this weekend, we're going to continue to honor some faculty around the University of Oregon because that's so core to what On Point does. And they always have done this. So on the radio pregame show and on our video pregame show, our Autzen Live pregame show that you'll be able to find on the GoDucks live stream, goducks.com/Autzen Live, and you can watch via GoDucks YouTube, GoDucks Twitter, GoDucks Facebook. All of those different platforms will have that pregame show in addition to our radio pregame show. And we're going to continue to honor some great educators here at the University of Oregon because that is so core to what On Point does. And I just wanted to bring that up today because I think it's cool what they've done, and I think it's a really great way to connect to the University of Oregon. And maybe the coolest part is it's student athletes and former student athletes who are nominating their professors and people they've worked with in their education, and those are the people that we're now honoring thanks to On Point. That's pretty cool stuff. Also coming up, I just want to bring this up now because it's Friday. It's the kickoff coming up tomorrow. As you can tell, I'm a little antsy. I feel like I've been moving all over the place on the show today. The Ducks want to have a virtual sellout for the Washington game. GoDucks.com/sellout. The aim is to keep that 18-game streak of sellouts against the Huskies alive. $20 tickets, and they're going to be commemorative. It'll be mailed to you in addition to having a virtual ticket. You'll also get a free Pepsi voucher out of it, by the way. Each ticket will be entered into a drawing for a few grand prizes if you help us continue with this virtual sellout of the Washington game. You could have a pair of hospitality suite tickets for 2021 or an authentic Oregon football helmet. And as a result, all the proceeds will benefit University of Oregon student athletes, double priority points for those of you season ticket holders, and it's a tax-deductible donation. GoDucks.com/sellout for more info. I've given you a lot of GoDucks.com links today. GoDucks.com/DuckDuel for a chance to win up to $1 million. GoDucks.com/Autzen Live for Autzen Stadium in your living room. And GoDucks.com/sellout to continue to beat the Huskies in more ways than one. Boy, that was a lot of information on a Friday. I did not realize it was going to be that much information on a Friday. Also, before we hear from Dana Altman here coming up in a moment, one of our friends, Ken Go from the Oregonian, is retiring today. Today is Ken's last day at the Oregonian, and he has been with the Oregonian covering sports in this state for 43 years. Congratulations on a tremendous career, Ken, and we wish you nothing but the best in your retirement. Ken Go, retiring from the Oregonian today after 43 years for the newspaper and the website and beyond. All right, quick timeout. When we come back, switching gears a little bit, some news on basketball because we're only 19 days away from the start of basketball season, and Dana Altman gave some updates to the media. That's coming up, so stick with us. It's Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Back to the Country Financial Studio next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
After 2 years of construction, my wife and I finally moved into our dream home. So when a bathtub fixture broke, causing major water damage, I was glad we had the home insurance protection we needed. How do you know your home is protected? Talk to a Country Financial rep like me, Nick Simon. We can help you understand your options and select coverages to meet your needs. Then if something happens to your home, you won't have any surprises. Need the right coverage for your home but not sure where to start? Visit TakeSimpleSteps.com or contact a local Country representative.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union. Join in. OnPointCU.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
They say that car crashes happen in slow motion. The reality is that crashes happen fast. There's no time to think and no time to check if your child is in the right car seat. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Are your kids in the right seat for their age and size? Don't think you know. Know you know. Get more info at safercar.gov/the-right-seat. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Okay, man. This is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're gonna go out there and be an all-star caregiver. Cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You gotta dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments, because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Show the world that you're tougher than tough. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
So I was just thinking about this. Welcome you back to Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. We're inside the Country Financial Studio. Is this the first time that dogs have watched a game at Autzen except for, like, the UOPD dogs? Yeah. We've never had, like, a dog day at Autzen, have we? So, there you go. I just saw from Jason Harris, who's the man in charge of tickets, that, you know, the dog cutouts are ready to go. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff, Jason. Well done. All right. I got to get into a few things with basketball because I know we're all focused on football. We're all ready for kickoff against Stanford. And I'll be honest, I don't have a lot of other things to say after previewing Oregon and Stanford all week. I think it's going to be a great game, and I just hope that we can get to it and have a lot of fun. We will have a 2:30 pregame show for you. So to finish up today, just a couple comments from Dana Altman. He talked to the media about the upcoming season, getting a non-conference schedule together, some of the challenges ahead as Coach Altman met with the media, getting ready for basketball season that is now just a couple weeks away.
Dana, just wanted a schedule update. I know it's still a mess out there for a lot of folks, but whether it was Portland State finally getting clearance earlier this week or whatnot, just where does the schedule stand?
Well, you've probably seen the conference part of it is now being decided by TV on exact dates and that, but we do have the weekends for the conference part of it. The non-conference part of it is being rounded out here. We're still waiting for contracts, but we do have some guarantee games where people are coming in to play us. We do have Eastern Washington who said they'll come in, Montana, Portland State. So we are trying to just get all those contracts signed, James, and get all the wording right on the testing protocol, which, Lane County's different than other counties. The Pac-12's different than other leagues. And then, quite honestly, the money's different than, what it's been in the past. And so we're trying to work out equal or fair amounts, to make sure that teams can travel and still make some money with it. But obviously without crowds, we don't have the same budget that we have in most years. And so trying to get the TV inventory for the Pac-12 and the other TV stations, TV contracts that we have, but also taking care of our opponents. It is a work in progress still. We're working on an MTE. We do have something, but again, the contracts aren't signed, so I don't really want to, talk about it because we hope to get that scheduled, that second week of the season. We've had 2 of them canceled already, James, so I don't want to talk about the third one. We're supposed to go to Florida and had a great tournament there with Illinois, Florida, and Iowa State. That gets canceled. And then we go, well, okay, we're going to go to Orlando and play Missouri and Michigan State. And then ESPN scratched all their tournaments. And So now we're actually working on our third one, to try to get it set.
Yeah, hey, Coach. The last time we talked about 3 weeks ago, you said you guys were kind of scrambling and you were feeling behind with just preparations. How are you feeling now?
Well, we're still behind, but our guys are working hard. I think we had some really good practices last week. We had a good one yesterday. After Tuesday's day off, yesterday we had a really good practice. Guys were flying around, had a lot of energy. We're going to practice Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The next 3 days, take Sunday off. So we need to have 3 really good days. We're going to start getting up and down some. We 3 weeks away from a game and we haven't scrimmaged yet. We haven't been up and down, which is really unusual for us. So we're not anywhere near where we want to be, but man, the guys have been great to work with. I trying to get everybody healthy yet, but the energy level, the focus, the competitiveness, it has been really good.
Good stuff from Dana Altman. I think what you're seeing now is everyone trying to figure out their schedules, and then it's going to move very quickly toward a season. Might be a little bit of a rough start to basketball, and I don't mean because of the virus or necessarily anything else, but just because the teams haven't had as much practice as they're used to. You might see more fouls. You might see guys not in the same kind of shape. We'll find out. I think, though, that's going to be a big question early in the season is what do teams look like as now we head toward that start of basketball season. Boy, what a busy show today. Jerry and Jorgie, thanks for joining us. Also hearing a little bit from Dana Altman. You can see his entire press conference on the Go Ducks YouTube channel for those of you who are interested to hear more of his comments. Some of the greatest hits, though, if you will, right there of Dana Altman's press conference. Oh, man, I can't wait for tomorrow, guys. One more sleep, and it's Oregon and Stanford. Just a final couple thoughts. I think it's going to be really interesting to just feel what it's like inside Autzen Stadium. I am really interested just to get a feel for the vibe inside of a stadium. And look, I'm used to being in Autzen when there's no fans and the Ducks are piping in crowd noise because they do it for practice. But usually it's when it's only green, yellow, and white jerseys. Having the Cardinal red and white, that's going to be odd. We'll miss you, fans. We will miss you a ton. So our pregame show on the Oregon Sports Network, 2:30, just after 4:30 kickoff. Ducks and Cardinal on ABC as well. What a week. Talk to you Monday.
Is that a faucet running? That's not a faucet. That's a river rushing through the forest. Forest rivers provide over 100 million people with clean water to drink.
What? I can't hear you because of the vacuum.
That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest cleaning up the air we breathe.
I didn't know the trees were so amazing.
Yep, and the forest gives us shade, trees to climb.
That's awesome. Let's go explore.